Okay, so this is another tier list, and this is going to be on chocolate. Yeah, so British chocolate specifically. It says chocolate bars, but not all of these are bars as such. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I'm pretty sure I've still had most of them at some point. That's probably why I'm as weighty as I am. But anyway, first of all, we've got Aero, the original Aero, and I'm going to put that in decent tier. It's not as nice as the next Aero we'll come to, and it's not as nice as the Whisper bar that I think will also come to at some point along here. Yeah, Whisper bar is sort of a tastier Aero in my opinion, or a tastier original Aero. Next up we've got the Mint Aero. Now that is a very good one. That's top tier, I would say. It just looks so nice, looks so pretty, really. There's not many chocolate bars that have that kind of mint filling, mint chocolate filling with the bright green. So yeah, that's well, I'll put that. Next up, we've got After Eight, continuing the mint theme, and well, these are decent. Or are they lower? Yeah, I'll put them in decent. A lot of people use them, I think, as a cleanser for after a meal, like a spicy meal. It cleanse the palate. Wouldn't want to generally eat a whole lot of them, but yeah. So yeah, that's where they'll go. Boost is up next. Now I think that is, if I'm not mistaken, that's caramel and peanuts, and there's some kind of crunchy stuff in it as well. Not overly familiar with this. Well, I am familiar. I've had it, I'm pretty sure, but yeah. I think from what I know, it's decent. Bounty, everyone's favourite, the one that people leave at the bottom of the celebrations tin. I don't mind it. It's not, again, it could do with more actual chocolate, I guess, is the problem with this, but I don't mind the coconut kind of stuff. But yeah, I'd say decent, actually. Bourneville, I would nothing that special about Bourneville other than the historical kind of connotations, Bourneville, the whole birthplace of Cadbury and all that. If I was I don't mind dark chocolate, but the problem is Bourneville is pretty sure a lot more expensive than supermarket own brand, and that's a dark chocolate I'll generally go for, supermarket own brand, actually. Maybe I haven't tried like the posher stuff, like the green and blacks, really. Maybe I should try that, although that's also more expensive, yeah. So Bourneville kind of falls between those two, might well fall between those two cracks of the more value stuff and the more the expensive stuff, which might be more nice, actually. I'll have to try it, as I say, but yeah, I'd say it's only average, actually. Dairy Milk buttons, yeah, I mean they're basic, but quite nice. I've had them in I've been having a lot of porridge recently, and maybe I should put some in my porridge sometime as a little treat or something. Yeah, I put them in things like porridge in the past, actually, when I was a kid. Yeah, they're quite. They're kind of iconic, really, aren't they? I'll put them in decent tier. Caramac, which I believe is discontinued, isn't it? It's discontinued it at least a couple of years ago, maybe. similar. The chocolate is very, isn't it basically the same as the chocolate you get on Gold bars, which I don't know if they're going to come up here. They might well do, but yeah, I mean, it's very sweet, but it's okay. I'd say it's decent. It's decent again. Chomp. Now, Chomp, I believe, is a sort of smaller version or a more compact version of Curly Whirly. And I'm not a great fan of Curly Whirly. I'm not a great fan of the stuff that gets stuck between your teeth, the toffee stuff, really, generally. Particularly as my teeth aren't very good as it is. Yeah, I don't think these are any higher than average. You know, I'll eat if there's nothing left at the bottom of the tin or whatever. Are they in Cadbury Heroes? I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah. If they're the last chocolate left, let's say, I might have them. But yeah. Galaxy Minstrels. One of perhaps my main memory of these are not the actual packets, but those kind of machine things that used to have chocolate and other candy stuff, sweets stuff in them. And yeah, I'd pay 50p I'd be given 50p when I was a kid, and yeah, I'd get like 3 of them maybe, you know. Yeah. Well, yeah, a bit more than 3, let's say. They actually didn't give you a bag or anything, but you had to kind of make sure your hand was at the thing where they came out of, and so they wouldn't fall on the floor. Yeah. Yeah, that's my main memory. I mean, very nice. I mean, I'm not chocolate with sort of the shell around isn't my very favourite, but the chocolate in these is very nice. Something very satisfying about the combination of the chocolate and the shell in this case, actually. I'd actually say top tier. Yeah, I don't want to fill up the decent tier too much. Anyway, they are generally top tier, actually, just about. Cream egg. Now, it's just after Easter, so topical kind of. Yeah, I prefer the filling when it's sort of more not dry, less runny, shall we say? Yeah, it's kind of funny. You can get these when they're more runny and when they're kind of more not boiled, but you know, they're kind of less runny. They kind of resemble real egg in that sense. Kind of funny, yeah. Very iconic. I'd say, yeah. I mean, I'd happily have one of these, and yeah, I wouldn't say no to one of these. I'd say top tier. Next up is Crunchy. The kind of small pictures here. Yeah, Crunchy. Yeah, very nice. I think this is one where you can tell that the chocolate isn't as good as it used to be. It sort of seems to be more generic, and definitely it's all. I remember the chocolate and the crunchy itself, honeycomb taste being more kind of mixing together more, but now it seems to be all about the honeycomb from whenever I had these more. So I'd say they're decent in their current incarnation. I'd say, yeah, I don't mind a crunchy, but could be better. Now this is Crunch. Now, not one of the more well-known ones on here, I'd say, but yeah, I believe it's got like Rice Krispie things inside it, I think, and chocolate, which isn't a bad combination in my opinion. Main memory of these, I think, is being down my local sports centre, and when I was a kid, I used to do football practice and go to play schemes and such like, and yeah, these would be in the vending machines there, and very satisfying to watch as a kid, watching the stuff come out of the machine after you, and selecting it on the buttons as well. It's very satisfying. I think they've done away. I think it's probably like more like. Is it more like a touch screen now? Probably. I think I haven't used a vending machine in quite a long time. Yeah, so these are just for the nostalgia and the memories. I haven't had these in a long time. I'd say these are decent. Curly Whirly. Yeah, I've talked about these before on the Chomp review, on the Chomp comments I made. Yeah, based on, I won't linger on these too much, based on the same reasoning as I did for Chomps, what I said about Chomps, I'd say these are average, even though they're very iconic, average. Dame, or was it Dam? D-A-I-M. Yeah, so these are not something I've had very often. I did go out of my way to try these once, or try this once. Wasn't all that keen on it. I think it's got that kind of chewy, hard, toffee stuff, hasn't it? Yeah, I wouldn't go out of my way to have these. I'd say average. Ow, talking of not hard caramel stuff, Dairy Milk Caramel, yeah. Yeah, these are a very good combination, the Cadbury's chocolate and the caramel, I think. Yeah, you don't want like a valuable item nearby when you're eating this necessarily, otherwise the sticky caramel gets on it, you have to clean it, and yeah. These are, yeah, I do like these actually. These are quite iconic as well. I'd say top tier. Dairy Milk Fruit and Nut. Yeah, I told you these pictures are small. Not a fan, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of raisins, and yeah, I wouldn't want it. I don't generally want raisins in my chocolate. Or nuts are okay, but yeah, these are average at best, I think. I'm trying to see what the next one is. Can we? Yeah, can't. It's Marvelous Creations of some kind. Is it like a marshmallow? Let's try and zoom in here, shall we? Just sorry about this. Smashables it's jelly popping candy. Zoom back out. Yeah, I don't like jelly popping candy. I'm not. I had like a Terry's chocolate orange version of this recently, and not the actual chocolate orange, but the little pieces. I think. Yeah, it came in an Easter egg, appropriately enough. Yeah, it's just kind of annoying, to be honest, the popping candy stuff. I don't want chocolate to be annoying, so yeah. Yeah, I'm going to put this in dirt actually. Yeah. Dairy Milk Oreo. Haven't had this very often, but I do like Oreo, and I think it's a decent combination. So yeah, I'd say decent Dairy Milk and Oreo. Dairy Milk Whole Nut. I would say I'm going to be generous and put this in decent because it hasn't got the fruit in, the raisins in, unlike obviously Fruit and Nut has. Yeah, I'd put that in decent. Dairy Milk, the OG Dairy Milk. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that Cadbury's haven't kept up the standards as what they used to, but, or the recipe, shall we say, what they used to. Yeah, but it's just so iconic, and I remember some of my very earliest memories as a toddler were of the Coronation Street sponsorship with the chocolate Coronation Street. Yeah. Funny how they needed to advertise on Coronation Street as if they weren't well known enough already. But yeah, they have to keep up appearances and so on, don't they? Yeah. Yeah, I'd say top tier for dairy milk. Double decker. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had this all that often, but it's decent. I think this does come in Heroes, doesn't it? Yeah, it's okay. It's decent from what I know. Eclairs. I have had these quite a lot. I guess because these are another one that are bottom of the tin, aren't they? Like the celebrations tin. That is. I prefer these a little. These are no better. These can't be any better than Curly Whirly or Chomp. I mean, there's something slightly more satisfying about the chocolate stuff in the middle, where the melted chocolate we get to in the middle. Sort of unique in that sense, but yeah, I'd say average at best. Actually, well, average. Yeah, average. They're solidly average. Fiera Rochers. Not had these very often at all, despite their iconic status. I think these were decent when I did have them. Yeah, no. Would I think I was somewhat disappointed by them. I think I'm going to put them in average. Yeah. Next up, I think it's the standard flake. Is it? It almost looks like from here there's like a white chocolate thing on the right hand side, but it's not a snowflake, is it? No. Yeah, I think it's standard flake. Anyway, yeah, obviously most famous for being shoved in a ice cream, a 99 ice cream. Which probably aren't 99 pence anymore. Well, definitely aren't 99 pence anymore. Generally, are they? Yeah, these are. Obviously, there's a whole crumbly thing which puts some people off. I'd say these are decent. Next up, I think, is this. I think this is the caramel. This is what used to be called known as the Taz bar. But it's the caramel version of Freddo. Again, another famously gone up in price considerably. Freddos, haven't they? I mean. Oh yeah, I suppose I'd have to put. I like my chocolate to be big. So I'm going to put them in decent tier, and for that reason, I'm going to put the OG Freddo in decent tier as well. Yeah. Fries cream chocolate. The original cream, the OG cream. Yeah, this is quite a vintage chocolate, shall we say? Fries used back in the day used to be one of the big companies. I think they were brought out or whatever. I mean these are. I think from what we call they're okay. They're decent. Yeah. Put them in average. Mint is. I'd say from what I recall, mint is probably slightly better. I'd put the mint fries cream in decent. Fudge. This is another one that tends to be near the bottom of the celebrations tin, I think. Or the actually no, are they in celebrations? They're definitely in those selection boxes, aren't they? At least the inside isn't like sticky and chewy. It's easier to digest, get through. These are decent, I'd say. Galaxy, the OG Galaxy. No, it isn't. It's the Caramel Galaxy. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got to be up there with Dairy Milk Caramel, isn't it? It's slightly nicer, I think, but yeah, top tier. Next up is another Galaxy. Can't quite see what version it is. Is it like the nut version or something? Hang on. Oh, Cookie Crumble. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure I've had that, but the Galaxy Cookie Crumble, but yeah, since there isn't a don't know option here, I'd put it in decent. Actually, I do like Cookie Crumble stuff. So this is the OG Galaxy, and this is, I'm actually going to put this in God tier because the saltiness of the chocolate, slight saltiness of the chocolate and the creaminess of the chocolate is pretty much unmatched amongst sort of mainstream chocolate, in my opinion. Yeah. We've got two Hershey's bars. I think this is Cookie Crumble, and I think this might be the OG Hershey's. Yeah, these are notorious for not being all that good. I think I might have had these, like a friend from America might have sent me these once or something, but yeah, I'm going to put them in decent. I don't think I found them truly offensive, but yeah. So we've got Kinder Buenos, and I think this one is the hazelnut, and this is the chocolate, the darker cream filling, and the lighter cream filling. Version I've had of these the most is probably the Hippo ones, which, yeah, when I was a kid. And I've had the oh yeah, it's coming up actually. Yeah, I was going to say the Kinder Surprise. Yeah, the Kinder Buenos are both decent. I'm trying to get through this a bit more quickly now. Actually, yeah, they're both decent. Kinder Surprise. Well, getting a toy with your chocolate is pretty. When you're a kid, is pretty much a bonus, isn't it? And the chocolate is really nice, even though there isn't much of it. But yeah, these are top tier, very iconic, very iconic. Kit Kat, the OG Kit Kat, is again an icon. Quite good for dunking, I think. Yeah, mate, and I do eat it with breaking one finger off at a time. I don't eat it, like a charlatan with, two fingers at a time, or even all of the 3 or 4 fingers at a time. Ooh. So this next one is the chunky Kit Kat. Yeah, this is actually preferable to the. Yeah, I'm going to put it alongside the OG Kit Kat. It's probably slightly preferable, but yeah. And the peanut butter Kit Kat. Yeah, this is up there as well. I do like peanut butter filling chocolate, and this is obviously Kit Kat, which as you have established, I do like. So yeah, as I have established. Lindt. I haven't had much Lindt chocolate in my time. I think I've probably had both of these. Yeah, I don't know enough to comment, to be honest. I'm going to put both of these in decent as well. A white Lion Bar, and then we've got the OG Lion Bar. Lion Bar is again certainly the OG Lion Bar is one of those memories I've got from the vending machine at the sports centre I mentioned earlier. Yeah, it's pretty satisfying, but it's perfectly decent, I'd say, both of them. Magic Stars, very nostalgic for me. Yeah, used to get them in the little smaller packets than this. Well, you probably still can actually. Yeah, there's a slight there's a slight whisper type thing going on with the chocolate, a slight aerated thing that kind of adds to the taste, I think, and obviously the faces on them is very iconic as well. That gives them a more interesting thing. Yeah, these are actually god tier. Actually, these have a lot of aspects I like. So yeah. These are dark Maltesers, which are, I think these are dark Maltesers. No, they're Maltesers buttons. Okay. I've not had these very often, so I think I would like them if I had them more. Yeah, decent. I think. Yeah, can't imagine that they'd be all that bad. Really, I do like Maltesers. Talking of which, I'm gonna. Yeah, Maltesers are going in god tier actually. The OG Maltesers. Iconic. Are you a sucker or a muncher? Yeah. Yeah, just certainly I've been known to scoff a whole box of them actually. Yeah, greedy. Mars bar, which there's only one version of on here. It looks like, yeah, the OG version, of course. Yeah, top tier. Good combination of the nougat, the caramel, and the chocolate coating. Just iconic, and yeah. I mean, named after a planet. What more can you ask for? Yeah. Matchmakers, mint and orange. They've got that sort of not popping candy, is it? That sort of crunchy thing that isn't actually kind of biscuit or anything. It's very much a Christmassy thing, aren't they? They're both decent, but yeah, not something I'd jump to be honest. Milky Way rolls. Now these have made a comeback recently. Very nostalgic. After I'd tried them in their present form, I suspect they've changed. I suspect they don't taste quite the same. I suspect they've changed things about them. I suspect, but yeah. Been there, definitely in their kind of best form, I'd say top tier. Very nice filling actually, very tasty filling, and the crunch as well, the chocolate coating, yeah. The OG Milky Way. I actually prefer the cake bar version of these. Don't know if you can still get them. I had those a lot as a kid. Yeah, the OG ones are decent. I'd say there's better though. You know, just nougat. It's almost like Mars without the caramel, isn't it? Although I think the nougat is a bit more creamy, isn't it? A bit lighter colour, isn't it? Yeah. Milky Bar, the most iconic of all white chocolates. Yeah, it's funny how Dairy Milk or Cadbury's tried to get into this with the Dream Bar, which was pretty short lived. I think didn't have the whole Milky Bar kid thing going on. It didn't have the iconic mascot thing going on. Yeah, I do like Milky Bar. I think I did have an Easter egg the other day, a Milky Bar Easter egg. So yeah, it's got to be pretty high up, hasn't it? Yeah. Mini eggs. Yeah, one of the better shelled chocolates. Yeah. Very good together. I've realised I've made a mistake here. Anyway, I will get to that on the next one. Yeah, mini eggs are yeah, iconic, top tier. Yeah, the mistake I made was the galaxy counters, which are basically like galaxy buttons, aren't they? But yeah, given that I like Galaxy so much, I'd put them in top tier. Don't have quite the iconic status of the OG Galaxy, I don't think, but yeah, top tier. So yeah, Galaxy Minstrels are also going in top tier. We've already been over there. I'm not going to linger on them. So the OG M&Ms. Slightly. Do we have Smarties up here? Not sure, can't see. Have we done smart? I don't think we've done smart. I don't think they're on here. Yeah, that's funny. Anyway, yeah, M&M's are probably slightly nicer than Smarties, even though, do they have the orange flavoured one in them? I can't remember, but yeah, these are perfectly decent. The crispy ones, again, perfectly decent. Not a huge fan, but perfectly decent. The peanut ones, on the other hand, these are top tier. Yeah, these are very. I do like nuts. Yeah. And yeah, these are definitely the best of the M&Ms. Munchies. I remember randomly picking up a packet of these during university in the. I think it's in the small Sainsbury's in the town centre or the city centre. Yeah, probably overpriced or something. Yeah. But yeah. They're okay. They're sort of biscuit and caramel and chocolate. They're sort of slightly upgraded Rolos. I don't know if we've got them. Are they here? They're not here either. No Rolos, no Smarties. And yeah, these are decent. Picnic. Another one with raisins in, I believe, isn't it? So. Probably slightly better than the other raisin one, I think. But yeah, I think there is like biscuit stuff in it and caramel, isn't there? Yeah, average, I'd say. Poppets, which looks like orange and mint flavoured ones. Not all that familiar with them. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know much about them at all, really. I'm going to have to put them in average. Just wondering. Yeah, that was swell. I'll put them. Yeah, just looking through something there. Anyway, yeah. Reese's. These are the peanut butter cups, and then we've got the bar. Is it the bar up next? Hang on. Let's zoom in again. I can't tell. What is that? Can't tell what that is. Nut bar. Okay, nut bar. So that's a bar version, which I don't think I've had, as you might have already been able to tell. The peanut butter cups are one of my favourites. Yeah, I'm going to say God tier for them. I assume the bar version is decent, although I don't want to put something I haven't really tried in higher than decent. So yeah, I just want to put them. Revels. Wow, I do respect. I respect Rebels, to use some alliteration, because they're very unique. They are unique. Yeah, there's a raisin version, an orange version, and kind of a Maltesers version, and a caramel version, and a coffee version in them, and it's kind of not my very favourite, but they are very satisfying. Actually, go through all those different flavours and choose which one you want and don't want, as it were. Yeah, decent. Galaxy Riffle, I believe. Now, this should have been in with the flake, really, shouldn't it? Yeah, because it's Galaxy, I'm going to put it in top tier. Yeah. Oh, now here we have Rolos, okay, and here we have Smarties as well. Yeah, I told you these pictures were small. I couldn't necessarily see. Yeah, Rolos are decent. Kind of sickly in a way, I think. Kind of more sickly even than you don't want to eat. I want more sickly than the Galaxy and Dairy Milk Caramel in a way, I think. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be eating a lot of these, but they're very iconic, aren't they? Yeah, I'm going to put them in top tier. Smarties. Now, Smarties are absolute icon, of course. Well, they're less iconic because they changed the tube a long time ago, didn't they? To the used to be a more round tube. Obviously, the funny thing. Obviously, you got all the colours, which sort of used to be a point of controversy because of the whole additives or whatever, hyperactivity and all that. Yeah, and obviously I've mentioned the orange flavoured one, and yeah, sort of funny how only one of them is flavoured as a different flavour, isn't it? But yeah, and I think it's the Shao, isn't it, rather than the chocolate. But anyway, yeah, decent. No, I'm going to put them in top tier. They're iconic, and there's, yeah. Snickers. Used to avoid this when I was a kid. I like it more now. Not my. Is it my? It's better than decent actually. It's top tier. Yeah. Star Bar, another peanut one. Haven't had it all that often. Found it decent when I've had it, I think. So yeah, decent. The Maltesers. Yeah, these are the things you get in celebrations, I think, isn't it? They're probably my favourite of the celebrations. So on that base, I'm going to have to put them in top tier, even though I haven't had the individual ones that often, if at all, or the separate from the celebrations version. Terry's chocolate orange, which I've mentioned earlier, I did have recently as an Easter egg. Yeah, again, that unique thing going on with the smash, an orange flavoured, an orange shaped chocolate, obviously orange flavoured, and the whole smashing it up thing, and yeah, I usually scoff the whole thing, to be honest, when I have it. Yeah, it's got to be top tier. It's iconic. Time Out, I think. Yeah, I think this is discontinued. Pretty sure it is actually. This is pretty good from what I recall. I'm filling up the top tier now. It's getting stronger as it goes on. But yeah, I did really like this actually. I remember another memory. I remember at school it must have been either Christmas or Easter, and they were giving out chocolates, and there was someone in my class who had a standard size bar of Time Out, and then there was a tin of, must have been a tin of Heroes or something. Would it be? And yeah, she had like a smaller version of Time Out as well. Because yeah, obviously someone who really liked Time Out, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Random memory there, but anyway, yeah, I do like Time Out from what I recall. Yeah, again, it's been discontinued, so yeah. Toblerone. Chocolate's very nice. I'm not a huge fan of the nougat inside. It's kind of a bit annoying, to be honest, even though I know it adds to the flavour. I don't mind. Yeah, it's pretty good, Toblerone, but not top tier. I'd say decent tier. Toffee crisp. Now this is another one of those memories of the vending machine, getting out of the vending machine at the sports centre. Yeah, yeah, pretty good from what I recall. It's good solid toffee chocolate bar. Yeah, so I'll put that in decent tier. Toffee. Yeah, I did have a box of these, and I wasn't all that impressed. There's too much chewy chocolate stuff, to be honest. Or chewy caramel stuff. Yeah, I'm going to put these no higher than average actually. Toffee, another nutty bar, isn't it? Again, not the most prominent. You don't see this about all that much. and certainly not these days anyway. Decent for what I recall, I think. Yeah, decent for what I recall. Turkish Delight. I've got a bar of this stuffed away under my bed. Funny enough, there's like a drawer under my bed and it's stuffed away. I didn't eat, I was giving it in some context, probably a matter of years ago now, and it's probably gone off. Not a fan, to be honest. Is it as bad as popping candy? I guess I could eat it just about, you know. Yeah, average, I'd say. Twirl, so another kind of almost like a cousin of flake, isn't it? Slightly less crumbly, I'd say, and it's slightly, if anything, slightly tasty. I'd say top tier actually for Twirl. White Twix is something I haven't had all that often. I think it's pretty good when I've had it. Yeah, I mean, white chocolate can be a little bit too sweet for me, but I'd put it in decent tier. Twix, the OG Twix is iconic, and yeah, it's the whole separate two finger thing, that kind of iconic uniqueness to it as well. Yeah, top tier for Twix. Walnut Whip. Now this is one I think you only certainly have this in home bargains. It's sort of, that sometimes indicates something's relegated to obscurity when it's only really in home bargains. Or the other one, what's the other one? B&M bargains or whatever. B&M, yeah. Not really had this. I'm not sure. I probably have had it at some point, but I can't recall much about it. I'll put this in average tier. Whisper Gold. Yeah, this is a very good combination. I'm going to put this in top tier. Chocolate, aerated chocolate and caramel, yeah. Is there an aero, like, is there a caramel aero? I'm not sure there is there? Yeah. The OG Whisper is, yeah, it's got to be alongside that. That kind of campaign to get it back, which there are alternative theories about, shall we say? Yeah, but they did bring it back, and they haven't got rid of it since, to my knowledge. Yeah. Yorkie. This is is it the fruit? I think it's fruit and nut Yorkie, or is it just nuts? I think it's fruit and nut. It's kind of purple packaging. Yeah, not a huge fan of fruit and nut bars, so I'm going to put this here in average along with the Cadbury's fruit and nut. Last but not least is the OG Yorkie, most well known for the controversial, shall we say, slogan. I was having a discussion about it. I was taking part in a online discussion about this, in a kind of comments sort of thing. The actual chocolate itself is sort of doesn't stand out, but the advertising thing did help it to give it iconic status, didn't it? I wonder if that was part of the plan, really, But anyway, I actually do like the chocolate on this. It's not everyone's favourite. The actual chocolate isn't everyone's favourite. I think it's quite creamy. It's quite, the actual chunkiness is quite satisfying. The chunkiness of the chunks. Yeah, the chunkiness of the chunks is quite satisfying. I'm going to put this in top tier. Yeah, don't appreciate necessarily the old slogan, but yeah. Yeah, that's where I'd put that. So yeah, that's a wrap on the that's a wrap on the chocolate bars. So yeah, the annoying poppy candy thing is the only one that I wouldn't like, and my god tier choices are OG Galaxy, Milky Way Magic Stars, OG Maltesers, and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Sort of a good combination there between the sort of long-established British a long-established British bar, and the chocolate. These two are obviously a package of individual chocolates, and again long-established. And then you have the more recent American import, which is very much gold tier. Yeah, as all four of them are. That's why I put them there. 45 minutes that's gone on for now, so yeah, that's where I've ranked them, and hope you've enjoyed this ramble about chocolates. What could be more fun in life, eh? So yeah, thanks for watching.